Hey everyone, welcome to this week's show. With me this week, Team Rocket, the current last place champion. As always, the Caucasaurus on prominent display. He is a proud owner of the Caucasaurus. Take some notes, Braden. I hope his second run is a little better.
I hope it's his last run for a while.
He's the only one irrelevant, right? So, um, and of course, there's me, your host, your champion and commissioner, Team Ramrod. Some interesting results last week. Just made the standings even tighter. I didn't think that was really possible. The standings continue to just get log jammed for everyone except Braden. I guess let's get into last week's results. First matchup, the Champion, now 5-3-2 in sixth place after losing 8-5 to Y'all Try the Beef, who's now 5-5 in ninth place. What happened here?
Yeah, and again, things are like so tight here, and Daltrey had a good week, and you continue to struggle in special categories. You couldn't buy a game-winning goal if you wanted to. You're not getting shorthanded points, and these little things are kind of tripping up a little bit. I mean, it was a tight week. Daltrey's team played well. He tied you in assists, and he just managed to edge you out in a couple of categories in the Sunday. I good on Daltrey. Um, and hopefully, you as Le Champion can find a way to get some of those specialty categories.
My guys don't want to score game-winning goals. They don't. They want shorthanded points. They don't want shutouts.
Yeah.
That was another one that Daltrey had, right? He took all those. I'm not finding a way to get those right now, and who knows?
Those are kind of like the luck ones, though. You can't really control it. I mean, yeah, okay. You can get guys who play the penalty kill or whatever, but they're a bit harder to kind of like chase in this league.
Oh yeah, you should be able to just be like, I'm just gonna pick this guy up because he's gonna get me a shorty. Like, no, you just don't know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But good on Daltrey. Some points he needed. It was close going into Sunday though. He had six guys playing. I had one. I did not have high hopes going in. I thought I could get a tie. But he caught me in power play points, assist, and he took Pims on the last day. So nothing you can do there. Good week, Daltrey. Tage against the machine, 6-4 in third place. Defeated Patre to Rumble, who's now 4-6 in 13th place. What happened here?
Yeah, so if we're wondering where all the game-winning goals are going to, I think we have our answer, and that's Travis. He had 5 game-winning goals this week. He had 3 shorthanded points, and player-wise, he just absolutely dominated. And again, Patches has a good team, and he's faced another tough opponent this week. But I like the moves that Travis made, and it shows this week. Because his team was dominant. I don't know if anybody could have beat him this week.
Maybe it's a new Travis all of a sudden. Who knows? We will see where he is at the end of the year. But it looks like you're saying that he has a tough opponent this week. Everyone's a tough opponent right now.
Yeah, that is true. There's no easy opponents except for one.
That's it. Paulie the goalie, 5-5 now in 10th place after taking down Oscar Meyer Wiener. Now 7-3, still in first place. 7-6 victory here. What happened here?
Yeah, so funny enough, Corey lost, stayed in first place. Paulie the goalie won and dropped 2 places. Like only in this league, right? Um, yeah, so Paulie Sean edged out this victory. Mostly his goaltending stood up for him, and that put him over the edge. Was enough to beat Corey.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna be the state of the league going forward. I think people are on now. They know what they're looking for in the draft. Teams are coming out a little more even. which is really nice to see. So, and we still got our Braden bye week, right? You get that one easy matchup, so I think that's kind of that's ideal for the league. NA goalie paradise here at 4-6, 14th place after losing to Mentally Bedarded, who with a 5-5 record jumps into seventh. What happened here?
Uh, Kyle's team finally decided to start playing again and just trounced Casey here. This is kind of the team that we expected from Kyle from the beginning of the year, but he kind of slowed down, went to a bit of a slump, and maybe he's just coming out of that slump now.
Yeah, again, it's guys who are just close in standing, right? Like Casey has a good team. His boys just didn't get it done. Everyone knows his weakness is goaltending. Where Mentally Bedarded kind of fixed his weakness with goaltending, picking up Demko, and he's starting to pull together some wins. So good on Kyle. Tough luck for Casey, but really, again, it's gonna be a theme this season. Every week it seems like any team can win. So
Yeah,
except this
agreed.
guy, Wild Husky Hockey here, 0-9-1 in last place after Nick, who's now 6-3-1 in second place, takes advantage of the Braden bye week. What do you got to say about this one?
Yeah, so I went on a limb and I'm like, I picked Braden to win, knowing that probably wasn't gonna happen. But sometimes you gotta pick that odd one when you're taking your picks, right? Like you're doing your pro line and you're trying to win $1 million by picking like this team that probably won't win, but that's your ticket to the $1 million, right?
That's it.
So so Nick took that a little personally and just absolutely murdered Braden. I mean, no surprise there.
He did take it personally. Um, Also, bad news for Braden. Not that his team could take much bad news, but Ottinger is out week to week right now. So
Oh, that's tough.
his one really elite player, and I think it's gonna be rough times for him. He's not getting a win for a few weeks. The dumpster fire after selling. I mean, that dumpster fire keeps getting brighter. 4-4-2 now in 12th place, taking down the Red Wings 3-5-2 in 15th. What happened here?
Um, yeah, Mark had another good week and he put out some phenomenal numbers. And Derek competed, but again, Mark's just one of those teams right now. He's as hot as his dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, it's funny how some of that works out for some of these teams. They move a bunch of players out for what they consider lesser players, and now they're doing better. Poison to their roster, I guess. Someone else can handle it.
Yeah, poison in the locker room.
Sorokin D's nuts. 5-5 in 8th place. Taking down Svetch a notch here. He's dropped all the way down to 5th now with a 6-4 record. What happened here?
Yeah, again, and I'm not totally surprised by this result, but the one surprising aspect of this result is that the 2 points that he did get were goaltending points. Um, but I guess he's running like five goalies, eh? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Dan's players didn't show up for him again this week, and again, state that I think he needs to probably drop Knight and take the L on that play. Sometimes we try to make a move and it just doesn't work out, and it's knowing when to cut the cord loose. Neil's team, and it's not a discount. Neil's team. Neil's team was actually on fire this week. Neil put up phenomenal numbers. Everything just went right for Neil this week, so it wasn't even a close week.
I think that's the issue with Dan's team too, is that when his guys aren't producing his skaters, well, then he's not going to win, right? Because he has so many fewer skaters than most teams, so it kind of hurts him in that aspect. Um, well, he's a smart GM. He'll figure out what he needs to do and bounce back. Big win for Neil.
Absolutely.
Big win for Neil there again, coming through. He started off the season rough, but now he's at 500. So big turnaround for him. Team Rocket. 5-5 in 11th place after losing to Captain Crunch, 6-4 in 4th place. What happened here?
Yeah, this was a very tight battle all week. We were 6-6, and then I got a shorty to go up 7-6, and I'm like, oh man, I might have this, I might have this week. And that was Saturday. And then he ends Saturday night with a game-winning goal, so makes it 7-7. And then I go on the Sunday, and his only real chance at victory was shots on goals. I had a 9 goal lead. We had, or sorry, 9 shot on goal lead. And we had the same amount of skaters going into Sunday. Uh, and I considered like picking up an insurance guy, which in hindsight I should have. But yeah, well, his guys just kept shooting the freaking puck on Sunday until he outshot me. He caught up by 9 and then passed me. So then I was expecting a tie, and then Brady Kachuk put the nail in the coffin to give him 103 shots to my 102. It's really a category I should have won, but his guys came through with for him late on Sunday, and that's the way it goes sometimes. So uh, definitely good for Daltrey Senior, and again, he's finding ways to win.
It's it's tough losses like when that happens, but you got to take it in stride and be like, I can't dismantle my team because of like a fluke stat like that, right? Like it's gonna happen sometimes. So
Yeah, and I looked at it, and I because there's some ad drops for sale, and I'm like, there's nobody on my team that I want to drop. Like the players I would have dropped were the ones who were already going, and I'm just like, it's not worth it. I'm going to take my chance. I have a 9 shot lead. He could catch up. He has some good players going. I'm like, but odds are against him, and well, he defied the odds.
he seems to do that quite often, but
Yeah,
at least from my perspective. So
I'll agree with you on that.
some trades. The league has calmed down over the last few weeks, and I think we all know it's because everyone's kind of contending, so no one's just giving players away. It's got to be like either you're extremely overpaying or it's got to be a hockey deal where both teams are getting something they need, right? So, uh, you were involved in this first trade. Team Rocket receiving Lawson Krause, big fan of Krause, and an 18th. Braden receiving Beniers and a 10th. Why don't you tell me about this trade?
Yeah, so I picked up Matty Beniers. He was one of my keepers at the end of last season and he won the Calder. He was Rookie of the Year last year, and I'd hoped it would develop into something, but the problem I have in my roster, my keeper roster, is I have too many rookies on it. I got Kochetkov, I got Fantilli, and I got Beniers. Um, and Beniers has been playing atrociously this year. I'm confident he's going to be a good player. It's just, I'm trying to compete this year a little bit. Am I expecting to win? No, but maybe a playoff run. And Matty Beniers has been kind of holding me back from that. So I look for an opportunity to maybe get rid of him. And with Braden selling, they give me an opportunity to kind of dump Beniers out of my lineup. I'll pick up a hard grinder like Lawson Krause, who can score, hit, pims. It kind of does a little bit of everything, and add a little bit of grit that's missing to my lineup. So I was happy to kind of get rid of a bit of a problem on my lineup, pay a 10th rounder, and get a great player like Lawson Krause.
I like Krause a lot. Plays a power play, plays a penalty kill. He just gives you opportunity, right? Just being out there in any situation. Like you said, he provides some hits, a lot more goals and assists. I do like Beniers. I think it's a good move for Braden because if he picks it up, which of late he kind of has a little bit, it could be a good prospect for Braden to kind of bank on. But like you said, the state of your lineup, you don't need him right now. So I like the deal for both of you.
Yeah, I agree.
Wild Husky Hockey still involved. It's like he signed in for a couple hours and got some business done. Picking up Cernak in a 7th from Nick Saucier there for Uyghur and a 17th here. So yeah, it looks like Nick adding a little grittier defense, giving up a seventh. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. And we know Nick is he's a sucker for Tampa players too, right? Like we all have that one team where we have a weakness for, and like for Nick, it's Tampa. It's not a bad deal, but where I get concerned from Nick is that he can be maybe a little bit too heavy on Tampa, and I think you don't want to like
He moved the
expose
Tampa
yourself to
player
one
out
team.
here, though.
What's that?
He moved the Tampa D man out.
Oh, he moved the D man out.
Yeah, he
Oh,
grabbed Uyghur from Calgary.
oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Okay, never mind.
But
I'll
Saranac,
make this
though,
wrong.
who was on his roster, is usually on the waiver wire. He's like one of those hit or miss guys. So I don't think
Yeah,
he gave up much to get. Well, I gave him a seventh for Uyghur. I don't know if I'd pay a seventh for Uyghur, but
yeah, I think that's a bit much, but you know what? When you're winning, hard to argue.
that's it. He's built. He's getting players he wants at a price he's all right with paying. I think
Yeah,
that's a good deal for him then.
exactly.
Good for Braden getting a seventh, right? He's just looking to get what he can get now.
Yeah, definitely a great trade for Braden.
Now he hooks up with Captain Crunch. Domo sees deals going through. He's like, I need to be in on this.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course.
picks up Nick Ehlers and a 16th in exchange for Ekblad, Rust, and a 12th. What do you think of this?
I think it's a good deal for Domo for sure. It helps Braden out by getting rid of somebody on the IR and or sorry, it helps Domo get rid of somebody on the IR and Braden gets upgrade one of his picks. Yeah, it's a good deal.
I like the return for Braden here. You got Ekblad, who's a pretty solid producer, and Rust, who's a solid player as well. You got two players essentially for Ehlers, and a 4 pick upgrade, right? So I like that for Braden.
Yeah. I find Winnipeg's really good this year, and this isn't indicative of this year, but I find Ehlers is kind of a hot and cold player.
He very much is.
Yeah. So I mean, like when he's hot, it's great. When he's not, it's like, and
Yeah,
you sit there and you flirt with like dropping the guy, right?
yeah. But you're like he's too good to drop, but no one wants him because he's not playing well.
Yeah, exactly.
This next trade I really like for Kyle. Um, I like Brendan Dillon. So Kyle picking up Brendan Dillon and a 13th in exchange for Mayfield and a ninth from Braden. I'll have a little to say about this trade. I'll let you go first. So what do you think?
I'll pass it over to you.
I like Brendan Dillon a lot. I don't. A ninth is a good price for him. I made an offer for Brendan Dillon. It wasn't a ninth, but I might have considered an offer like this. The counter offer I got was I'm going to send you I think it was a seventh or maybe it was a sixth and Matthews for Brendan Dillon and a 18th.
Oh, this was the Matthews thing? That's
Yes,
crazy.
like fuck off.
Like who's trading Austin Matthews? And like there's only a seventh in the deal.
I just shut the thing down. It might have been a sixth, I don't know, but either way, like I'm not trading Matthews for Brendan Dillon. Like and that's just turned me off of even countering. I'm just like, fuck you. When I saw this trade came in the next day, I think it was. So good on Kyle. It's a good player to pick up. I had my eye on him. I really wanted him, but not at the cost of Austin Matthews.
Yeah, no, there's no way you should consider that. But otherwise, it's a good deal. Again, Braden's getting some good value for some guys out of his lineup. Nothing wrong with that.
He could have got good value from me had he been something like
Reasonable.
reasonable, right? Like that's the issue that some people have, right? What do you say? He's like, I need the tips how to become a better GM. Be present, be aware of what the value is for things.
Yeah, because like again, like people are less likely to deal with somebody if they come in with a very unreasonable deal.
Yeah,
If you come in like you're not going to accept every deal that crosses your way for a variety of reasons. One, you don't want to move that player, or it's not the right fit for your lineup, or whatever. But you can sit there and objectively say, hey, like that was a reasonable offer. It wasn't the offer for me, but it was reasonable. But if you come in with like hot garbage, then you're just not likely to deal with the person or give like a serious counter. It's just like it's almost like being trolled, right?
Yeah, and
And like
I'm
I
just
know
not.
we've all sent like a troll offer at one point, but the troll offers are very off-putting.
They are. That's my whole thing. It's like be reasonable. I get offers for players I don't want to move, right? But some of the value's there. I'm just like, this isn't the move for me, right? I
Exactly.
can appreciate that, and that's what I tell them. Like, hey, you're not off on the value. I'm not interested, And I respect those trades. So it's not you're not insulting me by offering me crap, like
Yeah.
Matthews for Dylan. But good on you, Kyle. I think that's a good player. I really wanted him to be honest, but oh well, you don't win them all. The dumpster fire receiving Malkin and a 17th. Braden moving Malkin for an 8th and Bertuzzi. What do you think of this?
Again, another great deal for Braden. We know Mark is a sucker for Pittsburgh Penguins. Um, Malkin's having a great season. So this is where I would kind of peg Malkin around eighth rounder, maybe a ninth. Because we know like this year, for whatever reason, like center is just oversaturated. There's so many centers this year. And I kind of feel like you could probably pick up a similar player, maybe on the waiver wire, but to get somebody with more of Malkin's pedigree, you're going to have to pay a little bit. And, I think it's a good price. I think it's a good sell for Braden. And, if that helps Mark and he's happy and he's got another Pittsburgh Penguin, you know, we like to have the players from our team, right? So
Fanboys, right? We all are to a
yeah.
team, right? I like the deal. I would have pegged Malkin for the 8th or 7th area. So paying an 8th for him, good player to get. He's producing. Bertuzzi's a good player for Braden to get too. So good job there, Braden, getting some good value. Marking in a player that actually might help you right now while you're still contending, right? So I don't mind it. I like it. I think this next one is a little mixed up because it was Schmaltz ends up being just the placeholder for the ad drop. So oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, we skipped Troy Terry there.
Yeah, we did. Sorry. My bad. Troy Terry and a 17th going to Captain Crunch for a 12th. Not even a player, just a 12th to the dumpster fire. What do you think of this?
Troy Terry has dropped in value over the last 2 years. I remember at one point I was offered a six for him, and I regret not taking it. I should have dropped Terry for a six, like at a fucking heartbeat.
He had a lot of potential, right? So you don't know. You took the gamble that he's going to pan out
Yeah,
better than he
and
has so far.
it comes down to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And yeah, his value is down to a 12th. Thing is, like Troy Terry will get you a lot of points, but he doesn't do anything else on the stat line, right? He'll score goals though. Like if you're looking for goals, Troy Terry is a pretty decent one to take. But I think this is a pretty fair value, a 12th rounder for Troy Terry.
Goals
Yeah,
are hard to come by right now, right? So
yeah, I agree.
no, I don't mind the deal for a 12th. He has some upside. Captain Crunch is going to put him on the block next week. Um, so who knows? He might recoup his 12th. This is the one where Nick Schmaltz is the placeholder. Essentially, this is Bunting and a 14th going to the dumpster fire, and Nick receiving a 13th. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I drop. It is what it is. Did it
Yeah.
help? I don't know.
I don't know if it made a difference or not, but uh, yeah. Nick again benefiting from the Braden bye week, selling his other ad drop. Dylan Strom essentially and a 17th going to Captain Crunch for Pustonen and 16th here. Yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, it won him the week.
Did it
That was
really?
the Yeah, that was the two shots he needed to beat me.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
two
well worth
shots.
it then. Well worth a 17th for a 16th.
Yeah,
Shows you it works sometimes, right?
yeah, it does.
Some good matchups this week. We're going to start off talking about one that involves both of us. Team Ramrod is taking on Team Rocket. Which team is superior? Well, I guess I need a new page here to write my week 11 predictions. Who do you got, buddy?
Uh, I like to be honest, and I got you. And my reasoning for it is I have some tough goalie matches this week, and I where I think I would normally beat you, or at least have a very good chance at beating you, is if my goalies are dominant. And I just don't see that happening this week with matches against Vegas and Edmonton. I think my goalie is going to get lit, and that's going to hurt my goalie stat line, and that's usually my path to victory. So I'm going to give it to you.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's a very honest reasoning though, right? Because Vegas and Edmonton are powerhouses offensively. And let's be real, if Edmonton's scoring, I'm probably benefiting from that.
100%.
So I'm also going to choose Ramrod, um, but mostly because I just always think I'm going to win. And when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But no, third best record all time in the league. I think I have some confidence in my team, so I'm going to keep.
Third worst all time.
That's it. So the all-time stats say it all for this matchup. But I'm not gonna kick you while you're down and you're acknowledging your champion. I'll just leave it at that and say that Team Ramrod's gonna win. Tage against the Machine here. This is a good matchup. Third versus first. Taking on Corey, the Oscar Mayer Wiener. Who do you got?
I got Travis all the way.
Travis.
I mean, and I've been saying for weeks, I like the changes that Travis made to his team. I think he's a formidable powerhouse, not invincible, but I think he's maybe the strongest team in the league right now. And I see no reason to change my opinion on that. And I'm going to go with Travis over Corey.
I never thought I'd hear anyone say that about Travis's team. Um, but a high praise from Team Rocket, the reigning Caucasaurus holder, to Travis. I'm going to go with Corey. Now he's still in first place. I'm not going to go against the first place guy until I see reason to. So, yeah, he lost last week. I doubt a team as good as Corey's is going to lose 2 weeks in a row. It's not impossible. Anything's possible in this league this year. But I'm going to give my vote of confidence to Corey. And it's not to say that I disagree with you saying that Travis's team has greatly improved or that he's performing. I agree. He definitely is. But I'm going to give the edge to Corey in this. Paulie, 5-5, taking on Dre. I think he's what,
3-1.
6-3-1 here. Forgot about Dre. I don't know. Does he get slowed up from coming off of a Braden bye week? Who do you got here?
Yeah, this is a tough one there because obviously Sean's been hot, 5-1 in his last six, and he's just doing really well right now. But I can't go against Nick 2 weeks in a row. I mistakenly picked Braden last week as kind of a joke, but no, I won't do that again. This will be a tight week.
It was a
I'll give it
joke.
to Nick.
Yeah, I also think it's gonna be a tight week. I'm almost always giving the win to Nick because I like his team. He has one of the best keeper bases in the league. Sean has a good keeper base too, but I do like to see him fail a little bit. So I'm gonna keep wishing for the best and get Nick the win here. This is a big matchup. NA goalie paradise coming off of a big loss last week. I think he needs it this week. The Braden bye week. Who do you got here?
Gosh, do I go with the team that hasn't won a game yet, or against NA goalie paradise? I don't know. I'm gonna go with Braden.
Oh
And
wow!
I'm gonna keep picking Braden until he wins.
Just so you can say you predicted it when he wins.
That's it. I'm gonna win on my stat line on my Vegas stat line soon, man. It's gonna pay out,
You
and I'm
know,
gonna be rich.
this might have been a team that Braden could have beat, but Ottinger's out. So hands down.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm switching over to Casey. I forgot about Ottinger. I was sitting here thinking like, well, at least Braden has good goalies. Nope, Ottinger's out. No,
He
I'm
does
going with
not have
Casey.
good goalies. All right, officially changing your pick.
Yeah, yeah.
Casey by default here. But yeah, I think Casey will hands down take this week. Do y'all try the beef? 5-5, taking on the 4-4-2 dumpster fire. Woo! Will the beef get seared? Like, tell me, buddy.
This is a tough one. Ooh, they're both been playing well lately. Um, Gosh, you know what? I'm gonna go with Daltrey, but I really don't know. You know, we got two teams that are playing really well, and either one might come out on top.
And we go back to that theme. Every matchup that doesn't involve Brady could go either way.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's an insult at this point if one of us picks one team or over another, because we see how close the league is. Like it's a coin flip for most of these matchups. But I'm gonna go with the dumpster fire. I feel like he's been hot, pun intended, and he's just um, he's gonna keep it going. The Blaze is gonna get stronger here this week, and maybe he'll avenge my loss from last week. So mentally bedarded, 5-5, taking on Domo. I don't care if your name says Captain Crunch, it's Domo. 6-4. Who you got here?
I'm gonna go with Domo. Um, I like his team a little bit better. But Kyle played well last week, and again, it's no insult to pick one over the other. If Kyle's team played the way it did last week, Kyle can easily come out with a victory this week. So, like, if he plays the same way he did last week, he'll win. But I have a little bit more confidence in Domo's team, and so I'm gonna go with Domo.
I think this is gonna be really close. I could even see this being a tie. I'm not gonna pick a tie because that just seems like a foolish thing for me right now. But I think I'm gonna give it to Domo. I just feel he's gonna go further to get the win on a Sunday. Like he'll do
Yeah,
everything he can to sneak out those 2 points, where Kyle will be content holding on to the players he values. So I'm gonna give the edge to Domo in this matchup. And Kyle, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take a shot at your team. I like your team. Uh, it goes back to everything being so close. I just think Domo will go that extra step this week to try and close it out. Hatcher Rumble, 4-6 and 13th, taking on Svech Me a Drink here at 6-4. Who do you got here?
man, we got two teams who are on a bit of a slide. Um, but like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, I think Patches has run into some hot teams, and like he's been on the unfortunate end of like playing against these hot teams. He's got a good team, and I really don't think his record reflects his team, just a bit of bad luck. Dan's been on a slide. I think Dan still needs to make a few fixes to his team, but I think Dan has a really good team. It just I think it needs an adjustment. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with Patches for this week. Um, and I'm probably gonna keep picking against Dan until he makes some adjustments to his team.
Well, I agree with everything you say about Nick's team. He has a really great team. He's running some hot teams. I do think Dan's players are going to kind of wake up a little bit this week. I'm going to give it to Dan, but this goes back to the same thing. Either team, I could easily see winning this. They're both really good teams. It feels weird to say this in our league right now that like almost everyone is a really good team right now. So uh,
Yeah,
I love it. It's like it's great for the state of the league. This is kind of what we envisioned originally, right? Was like some high competition where you don't know what the result's going to be at the end of the season. And that's
we haven't had this in years.
no, but this is what we
It's been
wanted. We wanted
yeah,
high competition, right? So this
yeah.
is kind of what we envisioned. You need that jobber team anyway. Easy wins.
That's
Sorokin
that.
these nuts. 5-5 taking on the 3-5-2 Red Wings. Who do you got here?
It's another tough one. We got some great goalie matchups here. I feel like Neil's player base is better. And so the question becomes is are Derek's goalies gonna overpower Neil's, and is he gonna get enough player stats to pad that if he can do that? I see Neil as being more likely to win, but I'm gonna go with Derek here. I just got a feeling, but I kind of think Neil's team is better, but I'm gonna go with Derek.
You gotta trust your gut, right? So that's what got you where you are
The
with the
bottom.
Caucasaurus. I'm gonna give it to Neil. He's just been on a tear lately, his team, and I don't think he's gonna stop this week. I think his players are gonna keep rolling, and I'm gonna give Neil the benefit of the doubt. Again, I don't hate your team or anything like that, Derek. You have really good players, really good team. I just I think Neil's team's woken up and is going to be a little forced to reckon with again this week. So I will. I did forget to mention earlier the prediction results for last week. We're not promising, uh, as it's been all year, with a high of 3-8. Me, and Plums all tied, and at a 2-8 record was Corey. So you can see our predictions are all over the place this season.
Yeah. I think like you and I have very few predictions in common this week. So we'll see we'll see with the contrast at the end of this week.
We're gonna end up with a 4-4 record
Yeah, probably.
from different pins. Well, that's pretty much all our time. We got into one session again this week, probably because of the lack of trades. Guys, start making some good hockey deals here. Let's see some movement. But thank you for joining me, Kyle.
My pleasure.
Uh, that's again Kyle, our current Caucasaurus holder. Proud recipient of it.
Yeah. But I'm
Uh,
soon going to be engraving somebody else's name on that because the way this season is going, he might be statistically eliminated in a few weeks.
oh my God, can you imagine like no chance of getting out of last, like
Yeah,
with
like
like 6 weeks left, 8 weeks left, like
yeah, that
heresy.
would itself would probably be a record.
Yeah. Oh, he's on pace to get the record.
Yes.
So there's always hope
Really,
for
like
that.
to avoid the record, he just has to win once.
That's it.
That's it.
Win once, you avoid having the worst record we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't have faith though. Well, that's it for us, guys. Thanks for joining me, Kyle. Good luck this week, everyone. Except you, Kyle. Fuck yourself. Giving it back.